IWC has gone big this year. I can't personally recall a year in which one of my very favourite watch brands released so many new watches in one sweep, starting off of course with all the new Ingenieur models that we saw at Watches and Wonders earlier this year. Now, we were lucky enough to see a few of these latest models at the IWC boutique in London, which showcases a real sense of momentum from the brand's recent direction. Technically sophisticated, but very wearable and ultimately considered. Let's take a closer look. First up is the full ceramic Ingenieur Automatic 42. I absolutely love this watch. It feels like a considered revival. The lineage here goes back to Gerald Genta, and the new version leans into that DNA without ever looking stuck in the past. It's a 42mm full ceramic sports watch with an integrated bracelet and this bold industrial bezel. Each screw is aligned and real, and it's not just there for decoration. This is why they call it the Ingenieur, or engineer in English. The case thickness sits at a very manageable 11.5mm, and inside there's IWC's in-house movement. And it's all tucked into a profile that really doesn't feel oversized on the wrist at all. The dial's got this wonderful textured grid pattern that plays with the light, and it adds a lot of dimensionality to what otherwise could have been quite a flat brushed affair. This watch is technical without being loud, and most importantly, it wears really, really well. The Ingenieur Perpetual Calendar 41 builds on that, but with even more complexity. It's still in that Ingenieur case, but this one packs IWC's Perpetual Calendar complication, a proper in-house module that automatically accounts for leap years, irregular months, and more or less anything else you can think of. And it'll keep perfect track of that until the year after 2099, and that's when the Gregorian calendar apparently demands a manual correction. Now, most brands would probably put all this complexity into a 44mm monster, but IWC somehow does it in just 41.6mm. It's dense, sure, but that dial is beautifully proportioned with the moon phase sitting at 6 o'clock, a full calendar layout, and it's got this really clean visual balance. Inside, the in-house caliber, which is automatic with a 60-hour reserve, and that's visible through the display caseback. It's a real sleeper piece of tech that doesn't need to shout, which is pretty much how you might describe the whole IWC brand itself. Next is the Ingenieur Automatic 35 with a black dial. This is essentially a scaled-down version of the Automatic 42, but it's more than just a ladies' model. This one feels like a perfect everyday watch for someone who wants those Genta design cues in a wearable, understated package. And they might be female or maybe not. It's got the same grid pattern dial, but the smaller case diameter really changes the character. At 35mm, it sits neatly on smaller wrists, and it feels, less aggressive than its bigger sibling. Don't underestimate this watch. It's deceptive and it's really, really interesting. Now, something else that you shouldn't underestimate is the vast collection of watch straps that we have over on the WatchGecko website. You can use the QR code on screen or the link in the video description, and if it's your first time shopping with us, you can sign up on our website and get a 10% discount off your first order. So thank you so much for your support, and now back to IWC's novelties. Let's shift gears now, quite literally, into the Pilot's Watch Chronograph 41 APXGP. Now, this sort of personifies IWC's long-standing racing partnership with the Mercedes Formula One team via a movie turned into a watch. Allow me to explain that rather garbled sentence. The upcoming F1 movie starring Brad Pitt, I think it's already out, but I personally haven't seen it yet, is a high-octane, big-budget dive into the world of Formula One, produced by Apple Original Films in collaboration with Lewis Hamilton and directed by Joseph Kosinski, who is best known for Top Gun Maverick, amongst other films. Now, the story of the Formula One film centres around Pitt playing a former F1 driver who returns to the grid to mentor a rising star. It's set against the backdrop of real-world Grand Prix action, and what set this film apart is unprecedented access. The production was embedded within the actual F1 paddock. I was there at the time, filming during race weekends with this fictional 11th team called APXGP, hence the name of the watch, and they were running a custom-built Formula 2 car which was modified to look like a Formula 1 machine. IWC has been an official partner of the Mercedes-AMG Petronas Formula One team for years, but they took that relationship a step further by becoming a featured sponsor of APXGP, the movie's fictional team as well. So IWC branding is prominently displayed in the cars, team gear, and even integrated into the design of the timepieces worn in the film itself. It's a natural fit, precision engineering, split-second timing, and mechanical art, just like Formula One itself. And here is the resulting watch. It's absolutely packed with detail. The case measures 41mm with a 14.6mm thickness, but it certainly doesn't wear bulkily thanks to a balanced lug design. Inside, we have IWC's in-house caliber, a column wheel chronograph movement with a 46-hour reserve, known for being both rugged and precise. The dial plays with a variety of F1-inspired colours, channeling that racing vibe. Functionally, it's a standard chronograph with day and date, but visually it's fast, even at a standstill. You also have the possibility to have this model in 43mm size for a more imposing look, and that should work nicely if you have a bigger wrist or if you just like a bigger watch. Finally, we have another pilot's watch that has been co-opted for racing, the Performance Chronograph 41. It's a more refined take on the same formula, but it comes in 18-karat gold, although still in 41mm, but probably more for a special occasion like winning a Grand Prix. You've got a black dial with clean subdials and the same movement inside, but with a real sense of purpose. Away from racing, it's worth talking about everything else that IWC has to offer. The Portuguese Eternal Calendar is an absolute technical flex, moon phase accuracy for over 400 years, and the big pilot's tourbillon Marcus Buller is visually wild with a turbine embedded in the dial. The Portuguese tourbillon retrograde chronograph is as complex as it sounds, mixing 3 high complications in a surprisingly elegant case. Even the simpler Portuguese chronograph and automatic models have been given thoughtful tweaks recently, with movement upgrades and a few more subtle aesthetic refinements. All in all, this year's IWC novelties aren't just a collection, they're a blueprint. Each one shows a distinct purpose, from accessible daily pieces to mechanical marvels. It's been a strong year so far and we were lucky to be part of it, but for me it's the racing watches that really stand out, and after all, if it's good enough for Brad Pitt, it's good enough for me. So, what do you think of IWC's offerings? Do you have a favourite? Let us know in the comments below, and if you like watches, consider subscribing to the WatchGecko channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.